and welcome to What Culture Gaming. I'm Josh, joined as always by the man who plays everything, Scott Tilford.
Hi.
And we have another leak about E3 today, courtesy of ResetEra, who is fastly becoming the place where all the industry guys go to just dish secrets.
It's been a long time coming for them to form a big old community that rivals something like Reddit or GameFAQs or whatever, where they can just talk about all the woes and all the things that they know under lots of secret names, and then we just go in and go, well, that's clearly that, and that's clearly that.
And then, because today they were talking about the latest FromSoftware game, which is allegedly going to be unveiled on Sony stage at E3. Ooh. Importantly, though, not a Demon Souls type game.
No.
It's not even going to be Demon Souls adjacent, like, you know, Bloodborne or Dark Souls even. They're not releasing a game as tightly knit as that. It's going to have the same DNA. Apparently, it's distinctly a FromSoftware game, but it's not going to be the FromSoftware.
Do you know what all that means?
I've got a theory, but what does it mean?
It's Tenchu, mates! Because when the initial teaser came out and it said "Shadows Die Twice," that's a line that one of the bosses said back in Tenchu.
Is it true?
It's always been Tenchu. People
mate.
who love Tenchu always knew it was Tenchu, and it's gonna be Tenchu.
You know
the
what?
fact that it's not a Souls-like thing is because it's Tenchu.
It's Tenchu.
Oh.
If I knew Souls Die Twice was just a line.
Shadows Die Twice.
Shadows Die Twice, not Souls Die Twice. Get away from that. I would have. So has this just been common knowledge this whole time?
Nowhere near common knowledge. I mean,
Okay.
there's a little sect of people who grew up playing Tenchu on the PS1 and maybe even played Tenchu Z, which goddamn it was a good game. You, Jules, it was always good. But the people who have stuck behind Tenchu this whole time have known that quote was one of the things that a boss said way back in the day. So either it's an elaborate troll and they just want you to go, remember that little quote? Yeah, we're not doing that. Or it is going to be Tenchu, and it always was. And that was their little way of sort of prodding the fan base, which I want to believe that's what it was.
Yes.
The only thing that contrasts that is the footage of that weird gear, blood, gore thing.
Which would look very Bloodborne-y, I must admit.
Yeah, and like some of the bosses and some of the general, like Tenchu went into its demons quite heavily. Like sometimes you had like bigger characters that you were taking down or bigger creatures. So arguably they might have brought across some of that stuff from Bloodborne. But that sort of contrasts it a little bit. But it's got to be Tenchu. If it's not a Souls game and it's FromSoft, and they've already used the same engine like what 4 times now?
Yes.
All 3 all 3 Dark Souls games, Demon Souls and Bloodborne. I'm sure they're all on the same engine. It's about time that they did something else, whether it's genre-wise or engine-wise. Tenchu fits the bill completely, and there's enough evidence to back it up. Doubly so now that someone said that it's not a Souls game.
Yeah. Got to admit, if I was going to see a FromSoftware game on Sony's stage, I wanted it to be Bloodborne 2.
No, you didn't.
I don't have I'm a younger man than Scott Tilford. I don't have the reverence that other people may have for Tenchu. You know, I played a little bit on the PlayStation 2.
So good, man.
Don't have that. Why should I be excited about this game?
Because it's ninjas, mate. I mean, like...
You know what? There's already a ninja game coming to PlayStation 4.
Ninjas are bad. Ninjas are the best.
There's a samurai game. I completely messed it up.
No, there is a ninja game coming out. There's Ghost of Tsushima. That's a ninja boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. But ninjas are the best. Ninjas are great to play as. That was one of the best things about Assassin's Creed was the idea of verticality in a play space, which is something that Tenchu completely pioneered back in the day.
Right.
Grappling hook all around the place, like flying airborne kills and stuff. It's just the sense of locomotion that you had in those games and the freeform way that you could approach missions was bang on. Tenchu was awesome, and it's about time it came back.
That's interesting, but when you're talking about like sort of the freeform and the locomotion, that doesn't scream FromSoftware to me.
Well, that's what I think. I think that's what they're shaking it up, because if there's anything that studio is now known for, it's belabored, like sort of like lumbering animations and picking your spots. So if they come out, if they want to have a shake-up, and granted they've been working on the same basic game, sorry FromSoft, I'm a huge FromSoft fan, but whatever, they've been working on the same basic game for 9 years now? Yeah. Like Demons was back in 2009. So if you're that studio, and if you're Hidetaka Miyazaki, then maybe you're like, hey, we should completely change it up and do something that is the complete opposite. Some of the way that the old Tenchu games played was still that behind the camera, like pick your spots, stay in the shadows and pick your moment kind of thing. But if they're going to go back to the drawing board, it totally favors the idea of doing the inverse of what everyone expects and doing a game that's very much about like in motion. I mean, they already experimented with that in Bloodborne.
Yeah,
because it was like, let's take the Souls formula and give you a nice speedy dash.
That was a much faster gameplay system. Gameplay systems. This is interesting because the other rumor that we heard was that it was going to be a sort of sci-fi Bloodborne type thing, you know, on the same vein as Demon Souls. But just to go completely break from that, keep it in the family.
That thing, the sci-fi thing, was something that Miyazaki said, where he was like, where do you see like yourself going in the future? And he was like, well, we haven't done anything in space yet. Yeah. And I think that I forget what you call Deck 13. I think are the guys that made Lords of the Fallen, and I think who now made the Surge. I think they were just like sci-fi, and then they just made the Surge. It's like someone should do that, because both the Surge is a brilliant game, and Technomancer is very good as well in terms of like Soul-style games that are like set in space. But I think whatever reason they've gone back around to an old, very much beloved franchise, and if any little dealings are going on in the industry, and they know that something like Ghost of Tsushima is coming out, then they can kind of time that and be like, Year of the Ninja, bring it back.
It could be the Year of the Ninja. If
all
this
we
is
need
the Year
now
of the Ninja
is Ninja Gaiden to come back.
That's not coming back. I don't think ever.
Oh, but it was so good, mate.
Yeah, the devs have moved on.
The third one was terrible.
The third one
Not
was
to worry,
terrible.
it's all right.
Devil May Cry.
I'll cry.
I was going to talk about Devil May Cry for a second there, and I just completely.
You're just full of leaks. Devil May Cry 5 is also leaked for E3, but we've covered that previously. Please feel free to check it out. But for now, we at least kind of almost definitely know what FromSoftware's game is. But let us know what you think down in the comments. Do you remember Tenchu fondly, or have you no idea what it is, and are just kind of curious, or don't care at all? Either way, I've been Scott from ourculture.com.
I've been Josh from ourculture.com.
And we'll catch you guys soon.
Bye.
Goodbye.